this is VSM News. You heard it here first.
I'm going to be talking about gun control.
A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of the free state, of the right of the people to keep and bear arms, shall not be infringed, so says the United States Constitution of the Second Amendment. This quote from the Constitution states that even with the security enforced by the government, the people have the right to possess weapons that will not be taken away. Possession of a weapon itself isn't a crime, so says the Constitution. Killing is a crime.
John Locke believed that all people had the gift of reason and had the decision to make right or wrong decisions. Though, in contrast, Rousseau believed that the idea of a social contract would be taking away the people's rights in order for the protection of the government. Some may say that the Second Amendment is only targeted toward the militia and National Guards. Being targeted rather than individuals, gun ownership would be exclusive to only the ones protecting. The question is, with others protecting, would people still have the ownership of guns and commit crimes even though it would be illegal? With laws prohibiting certain actions, people will still go around the law. For some guns still being in use, others don't have the opportunity to protect themselves if necessary, and only having the government or National Guard take care of them. The Ten Commandments supports this, focusing on the morals and ethics which everyone possesses to make right or wrong decisions. Oneself is responsible for his or her actions. Therefore, guns aren't the one killing. People's decisions are.
In July of 2010, the Supreme Court ruled that the federal right to bear arms also applies to the state at a local level, ruling that lifted over 30-year-old Chicago gun ban. The National Rifle Association called this banning a landmark, but the decision did not specify what type of guns can be banned. The blurred lines of the Second Amendment really challenge and question the ideas of which weapons should be banned.
I'm Sydney, and this is VSM News. You heard it here first. I'm going to talk to you guys about drug dogs being allowed on public campuses. The amendment in the U.S. Constitution states the right to people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable search and seizure. Even though drug dogs are trying to help prevent illegal activity, people are still protected under the Fourth Amendment. To the Ten Commandments, rules are for the greater good. This is shown in this article because drug dogs are trying to prevent the amount of illegal substances being brought onto school campuses. Rousseau came up with the idea of a social contract, and this is similar to the argument about drug dogs being allowed on school campuses, because dogs are allowed to search students' belongings, which may give up a small amount of privacy, but it also helps to ensure the safety of the school as a whole. U.S. law has appropriate consequences based on the crime committed. Students who try to smuggle contraband into school will be appropriately punished, and the dogs will help us find these students. There's many positive influences of having these drug dogs on campus, but there may be students that oppose. The Republic states that all things that you own or possess should be yours and private. This code states that all citizens are innocent until proven guilty. Therefore, the dogs should not be allowed to search the students' backpacks unless they've already been found to be in possession of illegal substances. Be on scene with this issue in a few minutes.
Be on scene with a real drug dog. Let's see how he works. Looks like he's found. They would have been caught.
I'm Maddie, and we're back to VSM News. You heard it here first. Today we're talking about Under God and the Pledge of Allegiance. The phrase Under God remains in the Pledge of Allegiance. Some people agree with this stain in the pledge, others disagree. The Declaration of Independence, it states that all humans have inalienable rights that can never be taken away from them. The opposing side, if people do not want to say the Pledge of Allegiance, they have the right to do so. The First Amendment states that everyone has the freedom of speech and religion. In the Roman Republic, it states that people have human rights. They have the right to say and believe what they want. Although the statement is still part of the pledge, Judge Carlos Bay stated that students are not required to state the Pledge of Allegiance if they do not wish to. The statement was also kept in the pledge because Congress wanted to set the United States apart from the godless communists. The forefathers established this country off of sculptural principles that referred to the Creator. The Ten Commandments stated not to steal or to murder. Following the same God-centered principles, a moral code was established. This nation was established not to steal or to murder. The forefathers established this country off of sculptural principles that refer to the Creator. To no longer have a king be their ruler, but decided to submit to a greater authority. This is how they got the statement under God. First Amendment of the Constitution, it states that Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, abridging the freedom of speech, or the press, or the right to the people peaceably to assume in the petition of government for a redress of grievances. Judge Carlos once said, "The Pledge of Allegiance serves to unite our vast nation through the proud recitation of some of the ideals upon which our republic was founded on." 10 Commandments stated not to steal or to murder. Following the same God-centered principles, a moral code was established. This nation was established to not steal or to murder. Back on VSM News, where you hear it first, we're talking about electronic privacy. Users have no legitimate expectation of privacy. What's your opinion on this topic?
Well, Maddie, I think that government shouldn't have access to our files, electronic or not.
I agree. The Fourth Amendment of the Constitution, it states that people have the right against unlawful search and seizures.
The Constitution also states, in the Ninth Amendment, that the powers are reserved to the people, and it really should be the people's choice.
Locke believed and said that people have the right to govern themselves.
Declaration of Independence, it states that all people have unalienable rights and should be able to choose what they do with their property. What's your opinion on this topic, Maddie?
Well, Matt,
Today, what does the fox actually say?
All people still go.
came in like a wrecking ball.